Here I have some oxidized copper blocks that have this patina. I use copper foil tape to copperize all the parts. There's other ways that you can copperize 3D prints. There's a filament that's infused with copper, so you can just print straight out and then patina. And another way would be electroplating, where you cover everything in graphite and then put it in a solution of copper. The copper chest is an updated model from the regular chest. Every time I printed them, the tabs would eventually break just from having them forced in here and moved around. So now instead I have separate tabs to be printed so that they're a lot stronger. I put a hole so that you can pin the tab, but the friction alone is enough to hold it. Now the patina on the copper is not really too safe. It's got chlorine. If you're ever working with chemicals, just treat it like it's going to eat away at your skin. To get this patina, I use a household cleaner which has hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid reacts with copper oxide in order to create the copper chloride. These reactions happen because chlorine has a charge of -1 and copper can have either a +1 or +2. Chlorine bonds with copper in order to take that electron in order to become more stable.
You ever been bonded before?
No.
So she says, valence electrons, she got one?
Of course.
Secondization, at least. Right, Carbon?
This was a cleaner that used sulfonic acid, and so it does have a different color. You get a more bluish tint when using sulfur than when you use chlorine. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get consistent results using the sulfonic acid. After a lot of failed and successful attempts, I decided to just use the hydrochloric acid. At first, I thought about using the cleaner to remove all the oxide from the copper so that it was just bare copper. But later I found that just leaving the cleaner on and then applying a vinegar and salt solution would get the reaction going a lot better. I wasn't happy with my first results, so I did another batch of experiments. I noticed that leaving the solution for too long will create these black areas. So these heavily oxidized areas do eventually turn green. I think these darker areas are just not hydrated, and so when you apply the vinegar and salt solution, you hydrate it and it creates this greenish tint. The best way to get even coverage is to apply a thin coat of the cleaning solution. I left the cleaner on for around 30 minutes to an hour, and after that I applied a light coat of the vinegar and salt solution. For the salt and vinegar solution, I'm using 15 milliliters of vinegar and 3 grams of salt. Apply a thin layer of the solution onto the strip and let it dry before adding a new layer. Applying too much solution or force will lift off the patina and create these bare spots. So ideally you want to apply as little force as possible and as many layers as you want. The color of patina could be determined based on the salt content, so again just mess around until you have the desired color that you like. The initial solutions I started with were heavily saturated with salt, meaning that no salt could dissolve even further. And so I think that heavily saturating with salt will create a lighter blue instead of a darker blue. If you don't end up liking the patina, then you are able to just strip everything using the same vinegar and salt solution. You can see just by applying a little bit, we're able to start over. You're able to collect the patina into your solution and saturate it, making it a little bit easier to coat later on. After a lot of scrubbing, then you get this bare copper, which you are able to polish back up. So that's pretty much it. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for watching.